What's happening guys, it's Abhinav from PhoneBunch and this is a review of the Moto E3 Power. Now this one actually comes with a 5-inch HD display, it's protected by Gorilla Glass and you have the MediaTek MT6735P clocked at 1 GHz. It's a quad-core processor with 2 GB of RAM, 16 GB of onboard storage. We'll talk about the rest of the specs as we move along. Let's talk about build. You can see the micro USB port right there. At the top you'll find the 3.5mm audio jack. On the right, you'll find a textured power button and the volume rocker. The buttons have decent tactile response, don't wobble that much, at least not as much as on the Moto G4. Overall, the build quality on the device does seem quite solid. Feels good to hold in hand, it doesn't feel very bulky, especially given the 3500 mAh battery inside. Now you get an 8 megapixel rear camera with LED flash, there's a noise cancellation mic right there too, and the back of the phone is textured, which does make it easier to grip as well. On opening the back cover, you will see that you have a removable battery this time around, something new for the Moto E smartphones. And you have 2 separate SIM card slots and a separate micro SD card slot. You also get a notification LED up front, a 5 megapixel camera, which is just about decent. Now just below the display, you will see that you have a front firing speaker, which doesn't get very loud and it does sound tinny as well. It distorts at full volume too. You have on-screen buttons on the 5-inch 720p display, which doesn't have the best viewing angles, and color reproduction isn't quite that accurate as well. Colors actually look a bit washed out. Now one thing that Moto E has sorted out is call quality as well as network reception. We didn't have any issues there, especially noise cancellation did work out quite well. And then you have 4G LTE with VoLTE support available on the device as well, and Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, USB tethering all worked fine. And well, these are the sensors that are available on the device. Proximity and light sensors as well as accelerometer all work out quite well. Now talking about the rear camera. You don't have any gestures to open it. You double tap the power button to open the camera, but it always locks the phone. So it's pretty unusable actually. And if we talk about the pictures taken with that rear camera, well, they are pretty subpar. The Redmi 3S, Lenovo's own Vibe K5 actually take better images than this one. And you can only record 720p videos, which also turn out quite soft. There's not much in terms of color accuracy or noise control, the images just turn out very bland. Outside, when you take images in good amount of light, most images turn out oversaturated and this camera just doesn't want to focus. You can see this image and the lack of dynamic range is clearly visible. When you go indoors or at night, there is a lot of noise introduced in the environment. This just isn't a good camera. The front facing camera is again just about decent. With that, let's get to audio quality. The speakerphone here isn't the loudest and it does distort at full volume. It sounds tinny as well. Now this is the headset that you get within the box. These also don't sound good at all. I would recommend getting your own pair if you want to listen to music. Audio via the headset jack also doesn't sound really that great. It isn't the loudest, it just seems quite flat. You do have FM radio available though, and yes, the interface is actually quite intuitive and you do have recording in stereo quality available as well. Now talking about software, you get Android 6.0 Marshmallow on this device, not 6.0.1, and it runs on a very old security patch as well. So even now this is running on dated software, but there isn't any bloat on this device, absolutely none. And from what we have heard, this phone isn't going to be upgraded to Android Nougat, which is a huge disappointment for people buying into the Moto ecosystem because of software updates. Now getting back to the phone itself, out of the 16 gigs of storage, you will get about 10 odd gigs after all the updates. USB OTG is thankfully available on the device, and well, RAM management is pretty good as well. We didn't have any issues there. Performance, however, is the weakest point on this device. Web browsing did work out well. I did notice a lag while scrolling. Images and text did take a bit of time to render when there were multiple tabs open in Chrome. You will notice lag while opening up apps, which do open up very slowly, as you can see right here, and the animations do stutter as well. However, as I said earlier, memory management is quite decent because it is stock Android. And well, this phone is simply not meant for gaming. Whether it's casual games or high-end games, all lag on this phone. The MediaTek chipset is simply not capable of handling a 720p display, at least this variant, the MT6735P. You can see right here, we are playing Asphalt 8 here and there is quite a bit of lag. Even in Modern Combat 5, which is quite optimized for low resolutions, it just doesn't work well. There's quite a bit of lag there, quite a bit of stutter and frame drop visible right off the bat. Moreover, games take ages to load, very slow load times on this phone, and again that attributes to the SoC on the device. The only good thing that I liked about this phone apart from the build quality is battery life. I was easily able to get about 6 odd hours of screen on time throughout my usage, so about 1.5 days of use with calling, watching videos, listening to music over Bluetooth that too, and continuous 4G or Wi-Fi always on. So here's where I am at right now. The performance on this device is really disappointing, and I'm not just talking about gaming. General performance just doesn't seem like a Motorola smartphone. The OS doesn't seem optimized as well to run on this SoC, animation stutter, apps take longer to load, and for now, a NuGet update seems impossible for this smartphone. So there's practically no reason to buy the Moto E3 right now. If you are looking for a compact smartphone in this price segment, I would go for the Redmi 3S Prime instead. Thanks for watching this video, folks. If you have any questions about this or any other smartphone, do hit us in the comment section. And as always, have a great day.